We're going to be going over the 2023 balanced data slate, quarter one. Looks like aircraft haven't changed at all. It seems like it's still 2 per detachment, 3 if you go to the onslaught game, so there's 3,000 points. Indirect fire seems like it hasn't changed at all, so there's still -1 to hit and +1 armor save if you're shooting out of line of sight. Bodyguard also looks the same. Chaos Demons. Delete the following ability from Flickering Flames weapons found in the Flamer's data sheet. Each time attack made with this weapon automatically hits the target. So now you have to roll to hit with Flamers, which probably a good thing. Flamers auto hitting feels like it's correct because they're flame weapons, but then rolling to hit is a good balance. Marines now look like they can choose to change to the tactical doctrine and choose to change to the assault doctrine, so they can stay in dev, stay in tac. Those are pretty good buffs all around. Also, they gain sticky objectives on all of their Adeptus Astartes troops units. Death Guard look like they stay unchanged. Drakari look like they stay unchanged. Harlequins worsen the invuln of every Harlequin model by 1. If a Harlequin unit gains an improved invuln by any means, that invuln save also is worsened by 1. LR doesn't look like anything really notable change that I could see. CSM, Creation of Biles, now only fight on death on a 4+. It looks like Emperor's Children are the way to go now. Devs Mechanicus, Catapron Breachers, Catapron Destroyers all got core. And then these following units got 5+ invulnerable saves instead of the 6+ invulnerable saves. Katari Rangers, Katari Vanguard, Catapron Breachers, Catapron Destroyers, Servitors, Iron Strider Ballistari, and Sidronian Dragoons. Tyranids, I don't think anything really changed for them other than the Spore Mines, and Overrun being changed to core only. So no more flying back Hive Tyrants, and you have to pay for your Spore Mines now. Look like Necron and Orcs are unchanged in this new data slate, but it looks like Adeptus Custodes gets OBSEC back on all of their Adeptus Custodes infantry core units. Also, Adeptus Custodes get their stratagem reversed to no longer being once per game. Tau Empire also looks like it's unchanged. Sisters Battle remain unchanged. It looks like Necron stayed all in all the same. Custodes. So Adeptus Custodes core infantry units gaining OBSEC seems very good for them, especially with the Ark's Omen attachment not requiring as many infantry units or troop units. Looks like Adeptus Custodes units all Arcane Genetic Alchemy just targets infantry again. Yep, that was the same as before, but they actually undid the nerf the other stratagem that's only once per game. So I guess it's used multiple times per game. Perfect. Orcs look like they suffered no changes. Cal look like they also remain unchanged in this data slate. But we'll head on over to points. Okay, we got a lot of points to go over, so we're going to kind of breeze through this a little bit. We might not cover everything. Looks like not really anything to note. Looks like Space Marines are kind of just going down across the board, points per model. That's good. Chapter commands also going down, so you'll see a lot more of those probably because they were already very good. But yeah, it looks like just for AOC, they're just kind of sweeping back the points cost in all these units. If I see anything relevant, I'll make sure to try to point it out, like Relic Terminators being 33 points a model. Holy, 330 for a 10-man now? That's outrageous. That's just Space Marines, so we're going to quickly breeze through all of these point changes. Black Templars also looks like just massive point cuts across everybody. Death Company look like they got some free warrior options now. The free Infernus pistol and stuff like that. Let's see, did Sanguinary Guard remain unchanged at 30 points. That's a little bit rough, but understandable. Deathwing models going down, Lazarus. Nothing crazy so far. Ravenwing Dark Shroud and Ravenwing Bikers and everything. Black Knights all look like they went down a little bit, which is nice to see. Oh, that's just rights of, yeah. Deathwatch, everything going down across the board, which is probably a good thing. Deathwatch haven't been really seen in the meta for a long time. All the subchapters look like all their named characters have gone down points. Wow, a lot of them down to 100 almost. Wow, that's really good actually. Space Wolves, Grey Knights. Let's see what Grey Knights got. So the captain strike squad's down to 20 points. Intercept. So that's 2 points down, I believe. Demon Hammers are the only point upgrade now. Wow, that's really good actually. I don't know if that was the change before or still remains. Paladin Ancient. Dreadnoughts stay the same. It's interesting that Dreadnoughts really didn't get affected in any meaningful way. I was hoping more for that. But yeah, it looks like Grey Knights didn't really get a whole lot of points cuts in the thing that really mattered. So that's kind of a bummer. They only got 35 point squad troops, and Paladins stayed the same, which I think you're just going to bring Terminators now. Maybe not. Maybe this +1 spell for +1 armor is good enough. Deptus Sororitas looks like almost nothing changed other than Repentia going up in points, which is heartbreaking for them. Oh, sorry. Exorcist and Mortifier. Mortifiers went down by 5 points, I believe. And so did the Exorcist, went down by 10 points, I believe. Deptus Custodes, Witch Seekers and Prosecutors both went down in points. Vigilators also went down by a few points. But yeah, this is really a good change. They got Obsec back in trade, so not many changes here. Assassinorum, all of the assassins went down to 90 points. Pretty good. As for Munitorum, I didn't see anything crazy on first glance. Yeah, I don't think literally like anything changed for them. Maybe some free war gear, but nothing that I could tell. Duchess Mechanicus basically sweeping point decreases across the army, all but the troops and the flyers. But man, did they just get like sweeping change to where everything just went down in cost. Most specifically, I need to talk about, I guess, is the Rust Stalkers going down another point, and the Sicarian Infiltrators also going down another point, which is huge. Imperial Knights doesn't look like they really got anything actually. Inquisition stayed the same. CSN Abaddon went up to 350, so a 50-point increase. Chaos Terminators went down to 36 points, which is huge. Hellbreeze Twin Lasgan, I think, went down by a few points. Thunderhammers across the board, I don't know if they went up or they stayed basically the same, but all of them have changed. I think they went down in points because I think they were 10 before for everybody's army. These are just more and more chaos stuff. Nothing really changed. Defilers went down, I guess. So that is a relevant talking point to 175. I still don't know if they're worth it at that point. Death Guard. It looks like their biologist Putrefier went down to 60 points, which is pretty good. I think he was 65 before. Foul Blightspawn is 80. I think he was 90 before. Hellbrute Twin Lascans 10 points. I think they just made Twin Lascans for all Dreadnoughts 10 points now. Noxious Blightbringer 55. Plague Surgeon 70. Tallyman 65. So yeah, they kind of just dropped the points on all of these support characters. Spawn went down to 21. The Maleficer went down to 65. Blighthaulers went down to 110. Plague Marines went down to 19. That's a pretty good start. We're losing AOC, I guess. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more changes sweeping like Space Marines did, because I don't think our Blight Lords or our Death Shroud Terminators got changed at all, which is kind of heartbreaking, but they love you. Looks like Spawn just all went to 21 points. It's interesting because I believe they all have different ways to interact with their codexes. These Suns look like they just got the Defiler buff and the... Oh, no, they got the Vortex Beast. Drop some points. World Eaters, not a whole lot to say there. And that looks like all of the changes. Doesn't look like there's much else going on in the way of changes. Let's guard Chaos Knights. Chaos Titans, nothing changed. Raft World doesn't look like they got any changes whatsoever. Drukhari got some point costs, it looks like. They have Sport Reaper, Tantalus. Necrons went down a little bit on some of their units. Gargantuan Squigoth went down to 420. Custom Stompa went down to 675. The Squigoth went to 150. Gargantuan Squigoth went up more. Or went down more. Wow, Tau looks like they didn't get any changes. And then Tyranids also look like they didn't get any changes. And then these look like some of the niche kill teams and stuff they released in the past. But that's it. Changes for all of this. I don't know what to think. The game changed a lot. Space Marines look very good because they were the ones that lost AOC, got the most point drops of any of the AOC armies, it looks like. And everybody else that was already doing good basically just got a little bit of point nerfs, but not, or point buffs, but did not really get anything to really make up for that huge AOC difference. So we will have to wait and see. And the balance day slate only really helped Marines, so hopefully this brings Marines where they need to be and kind of brought down the armies like they wanted to. Well, thank you all. I'll see you guys in the next one.